Hola, perdón que en este video no, sorry that in this video is not working the audio. As you can see, my mouth doesn't fit where what I'm speaking, but basically what I'm saying is that we are going to see the past tense irregulars, the rest of them. So we saw the stem changing in the previous video, and now we're going to see the rest of them that are like a group together. So this group, they have endings in common, but the patterns are different. So between them, they have it's called the rest of verbs because they have the ending is the same. So that's why they all have, but they're very different from the ones that we saw from now, the ones before. And then the other thing that they have in common, but is it between subgroups. Okay, between subgroups, they have a stem. In the stem, they have in the stem like letters in common. For example, you see here in anduve. Well, first of all, check the ending. Sorry, you see the ending. They all, what you notice in the ending, you see they are all the same, like iste o imos yero. So you see. Sorry, here is bigger. Okay, now between them, this is like what do they have in common between them? You see that it's divided in each group. So now they have in common the UB. You see, UB between those, which is andar. And then the other ones, they have also stems in the stem, they have things in common. Like I said before, the UB with an andar, right? And estar, very two important verbs. Are different verbs. Estar is more like any kind of state. Estar muerto is also a state, means to be dead. And any kind of state, start and location for now focus, okay? So what would they have in common, you see here, is the UB, okay? So the way that I suggest to study this, because it can get very annoying actually, because like it's very boring just to be saying, oh, yo anduve, tú anduviste. So you see, generally, I don't know, I use a ball even with my students or somebody else, so you can just, send it to them, like even as a drinking game. With time we did it, so it was very fun. So like the idea is like just to practice, how to say these type of verbs and get familiar with them. So you'll tell them yo, right, anduve, okay, fell. Yo anduve to, well, I don't have anybody right now to be with me to practice this, but ideally it has to be someone else on the other side. So yo anduve, tú anduviste, él anduvo, nosotros anduvimos, right? Please practice these ones. Like, and unfortunately it's a little bit by heart, but also once you start using them in a conversation, like yo anduve por el parque, I walk around the park, then those things are gonna start becoming more more familiar to you, so that you can use it more, okay? But for now, that's my suggestion. Try to use your hands as much as possible. So let me look at the ball for now a second. Oops. Yeah, here. So, oh, you didn't see it, but don't worry, I have it here, so for the next time I can practice with my student. So now let's focus on the other verbs. So andar has the UB in common, andar and estar, which is estuve. So for example, yo estuve en la clase de español. I was in the Spanish class. So what's going on with this one? What do they have in common, the stem or the root? The UP. Can you see the UP here? UP, very good. That's the letter what they have in common, the UP. And then the ending is the same, so you just have to focus in studying first the ending, okay? So iste o imos yeron. This is the ending, and you could see that it is for the AR verbs as much as for the ER verbs. You see, that ends the same way in this verse. That's why they are very weird, and they're called the rest of the verbs. So this is UP, right? So then here, what do they have in common? This science is not perfect. Yes, linguistics is a science, and so they have an I the I in common. Okay, that's the pattern that they could figure out, but it's not perfect. Okay, so but let's focus to study this, because hacer is to do, querer is to want, and venir is to come, which are very important verbs. You see, hice, hiciste, hizo, hicimos, hicieron. And then here, can you tell that it changes to S? So, quise is the only one that doesn't do, right? Quire, right? It changes to S. So, quise, quisiste, quiso, quisimos, quisieron. Then venir, vine, viniste, vino, vinimos, vinieron. Which is I came, you came, they came. Then I will help you how to use it in context. But let's get familiar with this, please. That are very important. So this one is poder, you see, and poner means to put, just to put, not to put on, put. And then poder means to be able to, okay? What do they have in common? The U only in here. And can you say in poder, it keeps the D, right? But in poner, it just changes it to the S, puse. So this is like I put, you put, she put, we put, they put. And then poder is yo pude, tú pudiste, él pudo, nosotros pudimos, y ellos pudieron. Okay. Let's switch to this one. So, E to I. No, sorry. In what do they end all of these ones? You see? Can you see this? In what do they have in common? They end in CIR, okay? CIR. Entonces, if it ends in CIR, there's a trick that you have to change it to J, okay? Changes to J. So, dije, conduje, okay? It changes, just focus on these two for now, which means I drove, you drove, she drove. And I told, you told, she told. You see, dije, dijiste, dijo, dijeron. One thing about this dijeron instead of dijeron, actually, there's like Spanish is the only one that has like I saw like an international official dictionary, and where, let's say, a new word comes from, I don't know, for this new generation that will use new words of the internet and informational era. So they literally put it in there. So the same happens with this dijeron, long time ago. So if you actually didn't go to school, I will listen to the little kids that didn't go to school, that they say dijeron. Because it sounds like yo dije, tú dijiste, all ends in yeron, right? But unfortunately, it's like an official thing. It is what it is. I read it in the dictionary, and they say that they change it and it sounds better. There's no real explanation for it. But I mention it because it does change in ellos. You see, yo dije, dijiste, yo dijimos, ellos dijeron, instead of saying dijeron, okay? So let's do the next one also, that I didn't put in here, but I'm gonna put in here, traer, okay? Traer means to bring, okay? To bring. Bring is important in my opinion, but everything that ends in aer, okay, for now on, it also changes to that J that I was talking to you about. The only thing is the other ones, I don't like it very much for your level, because it means to attract, yeah, atraer, means to attract, or contraer, contract. So you're not gonna use it that much right now. But what I want you to show you, though, that everything that ends in aer, it's you change it to J, okay? Entonces, let me see, I'm simplifying this. So yo, you see, traje, you switch that. The ending doesn't change, it's imos. Yo traje, no, tú trajiste, sorry, trajiste, él trajo, nosotros trajimos, but Everything that goes with J, you're gonna have to put eron, okay? No yeron, eron here. So it happens with this one too. Focus on this one. It means I brought, you brought, she brought, we brought. Anyways, I added it though in the how to use these verbs in context, which is actually as important or even more because it's learning the conjugation but in a context. Like we did with dormir, remember? Preferir, sugerir. Now we're gonna do it with these ones. So let's go to the first one, andar. Remember? We saw anduve, it changes the UV, right? Okay, prepositions you should focus on for now is por. Andar por is like walk by or walk around by. So I have some examples for you in here. For example, yo anduve por la playa. So you see, anduve is I walk by the beach, right? But let's say yo anduve por el centro. You see, I walk around downtown. You know when you're not in a specific place and just walk around it, I walk por mi barrio. You see, go just for a walk. That's what I was saying, walk around. Or through the supermarket, I walk like around the supermarket, through the supermarket, I guess. So that means por. It's mainly by, and always andar goes por. So when you have my notes here, when you do like an example, you remember adding ayer, right? We already talked about this la semana pasada, last week or something. You can say, for example, yo anduve por el festival de, I don't know, Wicker Park el fin de semana pasado. So for people that live in Chicago, in the summer there's a lot of festivals, and there's Wicker Park is one of the neighborhoods. Semana pasado. And so anduve, you see, it's like I walked around, you know, like, I don't know, looking at stores, drinking some beer, like walking around by the festival, the Wicker Park Festival last weekend, you see? And you were around that, you know, you were around that area. Or even if you walk by, anduve por, it looks like you walk around more, you stay a little bit longer. If not, it's pasar por, which means pass by. But you see, anduve por la calle, I walk down the street, you know, I walk around the street, anduve, okay? Caminar, which all of my students, with the difference between caminar and walk. Caminar is more the literal tense. It's like to walk, not to walk around, to walk. For example, yo caminé a mi trabajo. I walk to my work, you know, trabajo. Or it's more specific than the other one. Let's move on to the estuve, which is a very important verb. Remember, estar. That could be estar in a state, right, of mind, mood. What's your status? Divorced, married, dead, alive. Any kind of states that you're doing. What you're doing to, what you are doing. Like estoy or estuve jugando. I was playing. And also a location, okay? So why I say this, because then when you come here and you see the examples, you see like estuve is a state, I was interested, estuve muy interesada, or I was with my friends, you see location, estuve en el parque con mis amigos, or a mood, estuve de mal humor, or in your house, a location, again, I was in my house. So this is very important when you want to do like sentences, which I am want to request you obviously to start with anduve and then follow with estuve and questions and answers. So then the next one in context is tener, which is to have. You see, it's the UV2. It's very important. Like, well, this is very similar to English, except maybe tener frío, like tuve frío, I was cold. We say I had cold, like. Or also remember tener, remember tener hambre. Tener hambre is to be hungry, so tuve hambre, I was hungry, right? Also we say tener miedo, I had fear, I guess. I was afraid would be tuve miedo, okay? So those are a little differences, but all in all, it's good. So, por ejemplo, el fin de semana pasado tuve, well, I'm filming this when Chicago is summer, thank God. So, tuve calor, which is true. I was hot. Tuve calor el fin de semana pasado. It means I was hot. You see, I had hot, but I was hot, the literal translation. Okay. Then we move on with the next one, saber, the UPs, remember? And supe is like, I don't know, some examples. I knew qué decir, what to say. I knew how to react. Supe qué decir is I knew what to say, o cómo. So saber, remember please, is to know how to do something. Saber is to know how to do something. To know how to do something. Or a skill, okay? Por ejemplo, saber cómo manejar, know how to drive. O yo supe cómo whatever, okay? Conocer, which many people confuse it, which is a regular one in past tense, conocí, conociste. It means to know a place or a person, or to meet them for a person for the first time. Person for the first time. For example, yo conocí, like I met for the first time, a mi esposo, to my husband. I don't know, it's an example. Yo conocí a mi esposo en una fiesta, like in a party, okay? Yo conocí. But then also you can say, yo conozco Italia, like I know Italy because you've been there or something. Or yo conozco a Maria, I know Maria or something from somewhere. So that's saber, the difference between saber y conocer. So después you have poner, is to put in something, because remember we don't have to, it's not to put on. Por ejemplo, puse, pusiste la tarjeta en el cajero, like I literally put the card in the ATM. Or puse las lámparas. Also another thing, remember that is different from English, poner is the expression poner música, okay? Poner música is to play music. Poner música, remember? So, to play music. So, if I say yo puse música en el carro, ayer puse música en el carro, it means I put music in the car. I play music in the car, en el carro. So, that's, for example, another example that poner is different. Después, the next one, that was US. Pude, remember, changes to you, but pude is I could, right? So I could play tennis. I could finish studying. I could go to the gym. I could, like, you could, she could, we could, they could, okay? Or also, we used to, like, I couldn't go to your party. I'm sorry. I couldn't go to your bed. O sea, por ejemplo, lo siento, right? I'm sorry, lo siento. Yo no pude ir a tu fiesta. I'm sorry, I couldn't go to your party, right? And then I'm going to move on then with the questions. Don't worry, I'm going to help you how to ask questions. But for now, I'm just giving a general example how to use these verbs. So then hice, hacer, you can do two goals like in football. La cama, to make the bed, we use it, right? For example, yo hice la cama hoy a la mañana, which is true. I made my bed this morning. So hoy means today, hice la cama. See? Or esta mañana, this morning, hice la cama. I made my bed, for example. A very common question here could be, ¿qué hiciste? Remember, ¿qué hiciste el fin de semana pasado? Like, what did you do last weekend? Very common question, right? To ask your friends or something. It comes from tu, hiciste, right? So then you have querer, which is wanted. So, for example, quise ir a tu fiesta. I wanted to go to your party, pero no pude. I quise ir a tu fiesta, pero no pude. O quise ir al cine. Quise tomar un café, it's true. Hoy quise tomar un café, pero no pude. No tuve tiempo. Another one that you can use tener. Time. No tuve tiempo. Okay. And then the next one we saw was venir. Come. Very important verb. Venir. Vine, I came to my house. I came from my house, I'm sorry. Vine de mi casa. Vine, came from another state. Por ejemplo, yo vine de Argentina. I came from Argentina almost 8 years ago. Yo vine de, you say from, this de means from, de Argentina hace, remember, ago, hace 8 años. So 8 years ago, okay? Vine de Argentina. Okay, that's cool. Then we go and move on to dar. Dar we already saw, di un consejo. I'm just gonna move on with traer. Traje, remember? Traer. Yo traje un café o comida hoy al trabajo. Por ejemplo, I brought food today to work. So, por ejemplo, yo traje el almuerzo, remember, almuerzo is lunch, hoy a mi trabajo. I brought lunch today to work. O yo traje, it's true, yo traje mi bicicleta hoy al trabajo. Traje mi bicicleta o traje dinero, I brought, okay? So there's many examples that you can use. Here, I like to mention this one too, which is dije, remember, and es ellos dijeron. How you can use dije? You can say something to someone, right? Dije a mi mamá something, right? Dije a mi amiga la verdad, the truth or something. Dije una mentira, dije palabras. O por ejemplo, a question could be, ¿qué dijiste a tu mamá? What did you tell to your mom? I don't know. Could be anything, just to practice, right? Conducir, remember, change this to J too, besides traer. Conduje a mi trabajo, like I drove to my work, right? ¿Tú condujiste a tu trabajo? Did you drive to your work? Right? Another kind of question. Llegar is not irregular, but I want to just add it in here. Llegar, you see, llegar is not irregular. It's just, you see, lleg, you just have to use lleg. That's regular. Lleg, llegó, llegamos, llegaron. But the problem is, llegó, tú llegaste, él llegó, nosotros llegamos y ellos llegaron. That the problem is, yo llegué, sorry. And the problem is that if you don't add the auxiliary you to make it sound gay, that's why it changes like this you. Llegué means I arrived, okay? And then the rest is fine, because if no, you be yo llegué. So that's what I add this in here. And then busqué, if you don't put this QU that you would think is weird, then it would sound like busé. Look, buscar means to search for. So if I put yo, bus, right? Sorry, I'm just gonna do the stem, right? Busc is regular, okay? So yo busc, to busc, and then you use right? Aste, o, amos, y aron. The problem is here it will be yo busé, and the only way that you can resolve it is just put in this QU that it makes it sound busque. It's just a spelling change, okay? And it's not a pronunciation thing. And the same happened with organicé. It just like, okay, yo organicé, organizar, as you could see, organizar is written like this, organizar, okay? So this just changing in Spain. That's what I don't really care about. This means to organize. So if with you organi, right? Instead of the, we put it se, okay? But since for us se and theta sounds the same, you don't have to worry about this one. At least not in Latin America. Organicé, organizaste. You don't have to do the zaste. Or at least I don't teach with the lisp, okay? Leí, leíste, leímos. The only thing that is weird, I guess, in the third person is regular, but if you remember, if I leave it like this, yo leí, leíste, leyó, leímos, y leyeron. You see, this is very hard for us to pronounce, so the only thing that you have to change is the Y. Instead of leío, es leyó, and instead of leyeron, es leyeron. But they are regular verbs, okay? They're nothing compared to the other ones. Still, I want you to focus on them. I mean, you can practice how to ask questions and everything, but right now is try to get familiar with these completely weirdos, you know. So, okay, now I'm gonna go to how to ask a question. So I'm gonna just do a little bit like what I did before, so we can combine them, right? So, que, como, cuando, and then an affirmation could be a question if you change your intonation. Entonces, let me look at the other ones that we did in the previous class. Sorry, so I don't repeat it or I don't waste your time, which I'm doing still right now. Okay, I'll just do it again, no worries. So you remember you have, right? Que, which means what. Cuando means when. Como means how. Por qué means why. Who, quién means who, and then donde means where. But also you don't need to use that if you use, for example, tú anduviste por el lago de Michigan. We have a lake here called Lake Michigan in Chicago. So tú anduviste por el lago de Michigan. Let's say I know you were by the lake. So then I would say, tú anduviste por el lago de Michigan. And then if not, you might have to ask a question. ¿Tú anduviste por el lago de Michigan? So you have to ask, you see, ¿tú anduviste por el lago de Michigan? That's a question. See, an affirmation can become a question. And also these are starters for questions, right? So let me put some of the verbs we saw today. So for example, andar, anduviste, tú, let's say, tú anduviste. And remember, we were using por somewhere, right? By. Then we use also tuviste, tuvo, el tuvo, I'm going to just put en querer, cuando quisiste, tú quisiste, sorry. Oh, you know what? I forgot that I love these ones too. Is alguna vez, and have you ever? I always teach my students to use it because it's fun to ask, especially in events or meeting people. But like alguna vez means have you ever? Means have you ever? So you can use that with these questions too. Or ¿cuándo fue la última vez? Última vez. When was the last time? When was the last time? ¿Cuándo fue la última vez? So, now, again, coming back to our verbs that we need to practice. So, cuando tú quisiste, tuviste, viniste, which means you came. Remember which other ones? Unfortunately, I cannot hear you. But anduviste, tuviste, quisiste, pusiste. Let's say él puso, he put, okay, pusiste, and then we saw also viniste, quisiste, let's say, so I don't start inventing. Supiste, tuviste, estuviste, that one. Cuando tú estuviste, cuando tú supiste, you knew. And then you can use what other verbs are important. Estuviste, tuviste, supiste, pusiste, pude. Sí, be able to. Él pudo, could, or hiciste. I think I put hiciste, if not, no, hiciste. Okay, so some examples of this. So let me work on this so to help you how to use them. So por ejemplo, let's combine these guys. So por ejemplo, que, right? Que tú hiciste, remember how we saw that? Que hiciste, what did you do, right? El fin de semana pasado. What did you do el fin de semana pasado? Or pasado. Or alguna vez tú, I love asking this to my students, alguna vez tú quisiste, have you ever, right? That means have you ever wanted, alguna vez quisiste vivir en otro país? Have you ever wanted to live in another country? ¿Alguna vez quisiste vivir en otro país? Or, ¿por qué? No sé. ¿Por qué? In this case, I'm gonna put a negative, okay? The negatives always goes before. ¿Por qué no? Okay. ¿Por qué no? But I want in here. ¿Por qué no estuviste en clase ayer? Why you were not in class yesterday, right? ¿Por qué no estuviste en clase ayer? Why weren't you in clase yesterday? Ayer. Or, ¿cuándo fue la última vez? Okay. Que, let's say, tú viniste, no, que él vino, which is tu papá, for example, your father, o tu mamá. Tu mamá vino, came. ¿Cuándo fue la última vez que tu mamá vino a Chicago? Which means, when was the last time your mom came to Chicago? Okay. Oh, entonces, this is a fun question to answer to. So, la última vez, okay, the last time, okay, the last time, la última vez que mi mamá, okay, vino, porque she es ella, a Chicago fue, right, hace really a long time, 5 años, okay? And then the same happens with all of them. Por ejemplo, ¿quién puso la música? Who put this music? ¿Quién puso esta música horrible? No sé. ¿Quién puso la música? O ¿cómo pudiste? Él pudo hacer eso. How he could do that. Cuando él tuvo frío. When he was hot. You see, these are all examples that you can use. Cuando supiste la verdad. When you knew the truth. Okay? So all these examples, I want you to, from all these questions, please, if you can make questions and at the same time sentences. Again, this is a process, so don't worry. This takes, actually, in my classes, it takes about 3 classes to get it, to practice it in a conversation. Also, we share with my students like samples of questions that we would like to share also with you, like you can ask someone else to practice. I prefer you to do your own questions because that's the way you can practice better, but also part of the conversation, if you run out of topics and stuff, you can also, you know, use these ones. I don't know if the camera is showing it right now. Yeah, here. So, you see, ¿cuándo fue la última vez que? ¿Alguna vez rompiste, cubriste, viviste en otro país? You see, these are ¿quién estuvo en tu cumpleaños? Who was at your birthday? Or things like that, right? There are some examples that you can use. Okay, thank you again for your time and listening to me. I hope